Welcome to NWA Connie Corsos podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
All right, we back. We got Clyde in the studio. Y'all might have seen this young man before. Clyde Thompson, CT's Touch. Horses
/dogs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right today, Joe. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Anything new in your world?
Man, I tell you what, boy, if the rest of 24 is gonna be like these first 6 days, man, I'm ready to bail out already, Joe. I'm ready to throw the towel in, man.
Yeah. Hey, can you tell the audience a little bit about you? Your background?
My name is Clyde Thompson, guys. I'm in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm 56 years of age. I'm a dad, a father of girls. I'm a girl's dad. I'm a family man, but I love the outdoors, especially horses and dogs. And I think what brought us here and what has connected me and Mr. Joe is the dogs. And through my hobbies and through the things that I enjoy in life, man, I get a chance to meet a lot of good people, you know, you being one. I get a chance to meet people with that's interested in the same things that I'm interested in. You know, different seasons, man, with me bring about, I got different associates. You know, I got my hunting buddies, I got my motorcycle riding buddies, I got my dog training buddies, my horse buddies. So, and then I just got my best friend in the world, man. People never see us together because he really not into none of this stuff that I do, you know, but he's my best friend in the world. I don't have to talk about him every day. I don't have to call him every day, and the same with him. I'm his best friend, he's my best friend, but we just grew up from childhood, you know, but most of the time, man, it's the things that I love that links me up with different people throughout the year.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you have a pretty big channel on YouTube where you go over protection dogs and your breed of choice is a German Shepherd. Why is a German Shepherd your breed of choice?
So, Joe, growing up as a kid, man, there was a dog show out. A lot of people may remember it. If you're 56 or older, you may remember Rin Tin Tin. There was another show, Run Joe Run. And I used to watch those dog shows, man, and it made me fall in love with the German Shepherd. My grandmother, she had dogs and she would buy, I think it was called Vigoro. It was canned dog food, and it had this beautiful profile of this dog's head on the can. And I just fell in love with the look of the dog. And then once I started kind of researching and broadening my knowledge of the dog, you know, the German Shepherd, man, he's all dogs in one. There's a reason why I think the military back in the day and police, there's a reason why I think they used the German Shepherds, because again, that dog could do anything that all the other breeds could do, and he could do it as better as those dogs in their field. But that German Shepherd, he has a head on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so in a lot of situations, you need a dog that can think. And that German Shepherd is just a versatile, all-around dog, in my opinion.
Gotcha. So you can look at the German Shepherd some years ago, and then you look at it now. It's slightly different. I know, like in the back,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of why is that? Is this the way they breed?
So that started, man. So the German Shepherd back in the day, Joe, they had working line German Shepherds and they had show line German Shepherds. Your working line German Shepherds, they didn't care if he had a floppy ear. They didn't care if he had 3 legs, long collie snout. They didn't care. They wanted him to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So then you had the show line German Shepherds. They was more about beauty and confirmation. So what happened is you had those working line guys, you know, I mean, just think about us in the real world. Hell, most of the time we don't want nothing ugly, you know, so they wanted to start trying to pretty up that working line dog a little bit. So they start breeding the working line dogs with the show line dogs, okay? And then that's how they started creating that angulation, because your show line dogs, they had some angulation to them. But what's happening now is that they're doing so much line breeding and inbreeding that it increases everything. So what a lot of people don't understand is that when you do all this line breeding and inbreeding, you better have just as much good as you do bad, because it's going to create, it's going to amplify everything. So when you got those dogs with the angulation and you steady breeding back to his grandpa or in that line, you're just increasing all that. So it's been, and sometimes it's just over exaggerated through the breeding. And then sometimes, Joe, depending on how you stack a dog, you can stack a dog and make him look like he has a lot of angulation when he actually don't, just by the way you stack him. But that angulation comes from the show lines, and they develop what they call a working show line. So now they got the big black and red dogs that they developed this working show line with, and a lot of them got the show conformation, because not only are they showing them in agility, bite work, protection work, sniffing, they're showing them in conformation as well. Yeah, so that's where that come from.
Okay. The one I see a lot of is Q.
So Q is he's a son of Blue, and I actually sold Q. And
you sold Q? Okay.
I had sold Q prior to getting him back. I had sold Q when he was probably about 9 months old. And then I got him back when he was about 2. But Q was a son of Blues, and I had a female dog named Ava. And Blue and Ava produced Q, and actually Blue outproduced himself when he produced Q. Size-wise, temperament-wise, I mean, he totally outproduced himself. So when I got Q back, my thing was to sell him, but I said, why sell him? I'm gonna keep Q, and I made Q my personal dog.
Gotcha. How long you been? You might have said it, but how long you been breeding shepherds?
So Joe, man, I've always, I mean, go back to when I was 8 years old, man. I've always had a shepherd in my life. Now, I didn't always have, you know, if you ever follow my page, I tell people all the time, man, I don't put myself out there as the best, nor having the best, but I always had what I needed in a dog, you know? So I didn't start like actually breeding dogs, I'm gonna say for the public, until probably about 93. And what happened was I had in 93, I had lost a dog. And at that point in time, prior to that, anybody that told me they had a German Shepherd, I wanted it. I didn't care what color it was, what it looked like. I wanted it. You know, I just wanted a German Shepherd. So as I got older, I started educating myself. And then from my prior dogs, I always felt like it was something missing in every dog. So about in 90, I lost one of my dogs, and I said, I'm not just selling for any dog. Now I kind of know what I want. I'm gonna shop around till I find something that has the potential to be what I want in an adulthood. Because I've had some pretty puppies that turned up to be some ugly dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted again, I want something that looks good as well if I'm gonna keep it in my life, you know. So
Right.
in '93, man, I was shopping through the newspaper, and there was a lady had German Shepherd for sale. And I called this lady, man, and after getting directions to come look at her puppies, man, it was like, I ain't going that far. All these up and down this mountain, around this curve, and I did that a week before, and went and looked at some dogs, and the lady guaranteed me they was full blood German Shepherds, and when I got there, man, they looked like some Doberman and Shepherd mixes.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not fit to do this again. So I remember after I hung up the phone with the lady, she had a distinct accent. So I called the lady back and I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, I noticed you have an accent. I said, can you tell me where's your accent from? She told me she was from Germany. So then she goes on to tell me that she brought these 2 dogs from Germany with her. So now I've always heard about the imported dogs. So now I'm like, okay, well, this lady got 2 dogs from Germany. And in most cases, the Germans, they had better dogs than the Americans because they had better breeding practices. They had better standards. So they had really nice dogs. And they still do, but now it's all about the money, and they'll breed anything and they'll sell us anything. So just because you got an import now, don't mean you got nothing. You know, but back in the day, if you had an import, you probably had a better quality of dog. So I went to look at this lady's dogs, puppies, man, and soon as I seen her male dog and the mother of these pups, I wanted one of those pups because I'm looking at a mature product. And I liked everything that I seen from the time I drove up in her driveway. They both met me at the gate showing me teeth. When she came out, they allowed me to come in the gate. But they had the size, they had the bone, they had the look. So when I see both of those finished products, I know that my puppy have a chance to be that in the end, once he mature. And I seen their temperament. And then when she showed me, man, she had the pink papers. You know, when she showed me all that, I really didn't even know what I was looking at. But I just know, wait, man, I'm on to something. And I bought a puppy from her. And man, I brought this puppy home at about 12 weeks old, and he was like any other puppy that I ever brought home, man. I really, he turned me on and actually let me know what the difference was from working line dogs and pet quality dogs. When I brought this puppy home, man, I got him out the car and I was out there playing with him, and my brother walked up on me, man, and at about 12 weeks old, man, he lit up on my brother. Wow. So I told my brother I said, back up for a minute. I told my brother, I said, run. And my brother ran, and man, this puppy went to pulling on that leash trying to get at it. Hey, that day I named him the Shiznick.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the Shiznick, he started this for me. He the one started, man. I felt like I had a dog that was worth breeding and worth offering to the public. But what I found out through the Shiznick's puppies is that the Shiznick was so well bred. The puppies that I was selling and breeding was actually too much puppies, too much dog for most of the clientele that I had. These dogs needed to be in somebody's hand with a lot of experience that was going to work these dogs. These puppies would rule you if you let them, if you don't put them in their place. So I'm selling these puppies as family dogs, and they just was too much dog for the average 9-to-5 working man. You needed some skill for these dogs. If not, you'll be chucking food out in the backyard, scared to go out your own gate, you know?
Yeah.
So
they was bred for a purpose.
They was bred for a purpose, man. And you seen it in my puppies at 8 weeks old. And what I did with the lady's name was Miss Yoakum. And I'm probably sure Miss Yoakum has passed on now. But I called Miss Yoakum back and I said, hey, Miss Yoakum, From now on, if you breed your puppies or your dogs, do not even advertise them. I'll come buy every puppy you get. And I would buy her litters. That worked with me for about 2 more litters, and she ended up losing her male dog. She lived out in the country. He would get out and chase the rancher's cattle, and if you got a dog that's chasing somebody's cattle, he ain't gonna live too long.
Boy, show ain't.
So anyway,
Right.
that's kind of what got me started, Joe, with raising puppies and selling puppies and training.
Hey guys, if you need raw dog food anywhere in the United States, be sure to visit our friends over at texastripe.com.